Hello everyone, this is Cheryle Ricks, and I have been through so many amazing things in my life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the hard, the easy, the joyful, and the sad. And as life, go from day to day, we find ourselves in some difficult places mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically at times. And I just wanted to get on this video and share some encouragement, the kind of encouragement that I was given so that I could keep going through the trials of life and actually enjoy the journey. I wrote this book called Rest in God, How to Keep Living When Life Get Hard. And I wanted to share an excerpt of it with you. I'll start with the preface, which is the Cheryle Ricks story part 2, and it reads as follows. As I mentioned in my first book, Sister Circle, The Power of Sisterhood, A Guide to Becoming the Woman God Designed You to Be, life can be very difficult, and those difficulties do a work in us like nothing else can. In the first part of my life, I survived domestic violence, a mental health breakdown, and no self-esteem. In the second part of my life, I discovered my purpose, which is the greatest discovery a person can make. When we learn what we are created to do, we get on a road called destiny and purpose. That road is not a journey for the faint of hearts. When we step out on faith and pursue the dream and passion that God has put in our hearts, we will face trials, tribulations, and challenges that will make us question whether we're doing the right thing. On my road to destiny and purpose, I faced the foreclosure of my home, being diagnosed with skin cancer and breast cancer, being sued by a debt collector, and bankruptcy. But God made the worst part of my life the best part of my life. God gave me a true village. During that most difficult time, I learned how many people in my life truly loved and cared about me. It was amazing to see how much love, support, encouragement, assistance, resources, help, hope, and enjoyment my family, friends, and even strangers gave me during the seemingly darkest time of my life. I continued to live my life in spite of what I was going through. I decided not to make my circumstances my life. I resolved to keep enjoying my life and the people and things I always had. I reminded myself how blessed I was and how awesome my life still was, even though I had these situations. I took everything to God and allowed Him to walk me through those challenges like He done for every other problem I faced in my life. I trusted His unconditional love for me and the promises in His Word. I held on to my faith in God, who I was in Him, and the plan He had for my life. I believed He would bring me through everything I was going through, and I was going to be the better for having gone through it, and I was. You see, faith, love, and hope make life and everything else possible. Without these three things, a joy-filled and satisfying life is not obtainable. But more importantly, we must receive the true love of God, keep our faith in Him, and hold on to the hope that God created us for much more than we can see in our current situation. God's word ensures us that God is able to bring us through. But Jesus looked at them and said to them, "With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Matthew 19:26. Life is full of many ups and downs, trials and tribulations. When our lives are up, we're happy, but when our lives are down, we're unhappy and depressed. I have been going through hardship, difficulty, heartache, and pain my whole life. In my early years, my situations dictated whether I was going to be happy or whether I was going to be sad, whether I was going to enjoy my life or whether I felt like my life wasn't worth living. In my middle years, I learned that there was a way to go through life and have a choice about how my problems, circumstances, or situations would affect how I enjoyed my life. Today, in spite of having breast cancer and losing one of my breasts, going through months of treatment for skin cancer, the foreclosure of my home, being sued, and filing bankruptcy, I have managed to live my best life yet. The purpose of this book is to show you how you too can live your life while living through some of the most difficult situations a person can face. My faith in God, His love, His word, His hope, and His promises have allowed me to keep living, loving, and serving my way to my most enjoyable life so far. No one likes heartache and suffering. However, if you're going through a difficult time right now in your life, I can guarantee 4 things. 1, you are uncomfortable. 2, it's painful in some way. 3, you're resisting what the situation is creating in you. And 4, you're missing the blessing in the midst of your difficult situation. When we are going through painful places, we don't realize that they're changing us from the inside out. They are also preparing us for blessings that are too amazing to believe. So come with me on a journey to discover how to enjoy your life while facing the most challenging times of your life. If you can relate to any of those things, this would be a great book to read for encouragement and hope. You can get it at any bookstore, Barnes & Nobles, iTunes, Amazon, any bookstore at all that has the paperback copy, and it also has the ebook copy. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach out to me by email at Cheryle Ricks 2759@gmail.com. Cheryle Ricks 2759@gmail.com. I would love to share with you and hear from you, and we can find out ways that we can be a blessing to each other. So until the next video, keep your head up. God is able to help you no matter what's going on in your life. Your dreams are still possible. The goals that you set are still reachable. You just need to have faith in God to make it happen. Take care.